was trying to feel beautiful, find my beauty. I just didn't feel pretty, and that's real. Like, to wake up every day and not feel beautiful or to feel ugly, like, it's really sad, and it doesn't feel good. It's not a good feeling. Now I'm in a place where, since I stopped listening to what other people say and I realized that validation isn't supposed to come from other people and it's supposed to come from yourself, that's what helps me, is validating myself and not getting my validation from other people. Okay y'all, so I recorded this video yesterday, so it looks like I already deleted the screenshot of the questions y'all asked off my phone, but luckily when I planned out this video I wrote them all down. So let's get right into this. What's on your skin? Is something wrong with your skin? No, nothing's wrong with my skin. It's just a skin condition called vitiligo, and it's considered an autoimmune disease. But I don't like to call it a disease. I like to call it a condition. I think a lot of people with vitiligo like that because it sounds less harsh, but it is considered an autoimmune disease. Does it hurt? No. No, it does not hurt at all. I am more prone to sunburn, however, so like the light parts of my body, I do tend to get sunburn more often on those parts of my body. I have to be very, very careful to put on plenty of sunscreen every day, especially if I'm going outside. Just being in the sun and exposure in the sun, it's just so easy to get sunburn because where I am lighter skinned or have no pigment, it's no pigment there, so therefore there's no protection from the sun, and your pigment is what kind of protects you from the sun. There's like no protection at all, so I just have to be very careful if I do get sunburned.
Now that hurts.
But as far as it spreading, you don't feel it spreading. You just notice new spots on your body, but you don't actually feel it at all. What does less pigment mean? Okay, so basically your pigment is like the melanin in your skin. We have pigment forming cells called melanocytes, and those cells is what gives us our melanin, right? So basically when I say I don't have enough pigment, it's because with vitiligo, those cells, those melanocyte cells, are destroyed. Therefore, I have a lack of them, which makes my skin
turn
white, sorry. Have you always had it? No, actually. Some people are born with it. Someone can be born with it. But me personally, I was not. I started seeing signs of vitiligo when I was in 7th grade. I saw it, so I first saw it like right here under this eye. It was like a little dot in this corner, and then I had a little spot on this hand right here. And so it was very, very small. It was barely noticeable. It looked like a scar or something like that, but then as weeks went on, it started spreading, and so then me and my mom went to a dermatologist, and that's when we found out it was vitiligo. At first, I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, all right, you know, I'm a kid. I'm thinking about the present, not thinking about the future too much at first. I'm just like, all right, well, it's barely noticeable, so I was just hoping it wouldn't spread a whole lot. Now I have it like on every part of my body. It's all over. I'm even starting to get it on my back a little bit, and my back has been like one of the last places to get vitiligo, but in the last few months I've actually gotten it on my back too. So yeah, it's I haven't always had it. It just started spreading when I was in 7th grade, and it's spread ever since. And this is where we're at. I guess I should have wore maybe like a tank top so y'all could see it better, but I have like a little spot like right here. It's all over like my chest and midsection, my stomach. I have it all over my upper thighs, not so much on my bottom legs, but I do have spots on my knees, on my hands. It's all on my arm, and then as you can see, I have it on my face as well. And then my eyeshadow is covering up the vitiligo up here. Do you need to hear you're still beautiful? Don't listen to the haters. So I wouldn't say that I need to hear that, but it doesn't like bother me to hear it. I do appreciate encouragement. I'm at the point where I stop worrying so much what other people think about me. So I realized that that encouragement has to come from myself first and foremost. But maybe before I did need to hear stuff like that when I was a little bit more insecure, but now I wouldn't say that it's something that I just need to hear, but I do appreciate when people try to encourage me. However, oftentimes people will like stop me and like give me a lecture on how I need to feel beautiful or be more confident in my skin, and they assume that I'm insecure when I'm not. Or I might feel like really confident that day. I might feel like the bomb.com, but then that makes me feel bad because I'm like, do I look insecure? Or you just think that because I have vitiligo. So I don't know, it doesn't bother me. Or like when people give me like backhanded compliments or something, I just know it's like ignorance or like people not knowing. So I've got to a point where the validation comes from myself and it comes from within. So I am no longer trying to people please. So therefore, weird comments or backhanded compliments, they don't really bother me anymore. But maybe back when I was so concerned with what others thought of me and what they were thinking inside of their head when they saw me, or what they would be whispering about, then it bothered me, but not so much now. Okay, what are my opinions on Winnie Harlow? And I remember this girl said, I love her, by the way. I love her too. I would say there's a lot of judgmental people in this world. We just live in a day and age, and it's probably always been like this. I don't think it's just now, but people just judge other people. So you'll hear like a lot of people talk about how skinny she is and how like, you know, like, oh, she, you know, tries to stay skinny to fit this status quo, da, da, da. Everybody has different body types. And no matter what somebody does to get that body type, or if it comes natural, we should just be loving on one another. I feel like there's no reason to hate, there's no reason to judge. I think she's very beautiful. I think that she's a really great model, and I have nothing bad to say about her. So haters, back off. We're all beautiful, we're all fearfully and wonderfully made, so let's just embrace that, honestly. And I love the fact that she stands for everyone just being themselves and just doing them, because at the end of the day, you can really steer someone the wrong way by trying to tell them who they should be and what they should look like, and how they should fit this mold, and how oftentimes people think they're helping out when they tell you, oh, you don't need to do that, you don't need to do this, you're beautiful the way you are. Let somebody do them, if that makes sense. I have nothing against Winnie Harlow. I think that she's beautiful. I think she's a really, really talented model. So I'm really happy for her and her career. I think that she's paved the way for a lot of us people who look different and people with vitiligo, because there was a time when she was one of the only people who were publicly open about their vitiligo. So therefore, I admire her for that. And yeah, I have nothing but respect for her. Let's see. People assume that it hurts. I think I answered that one. Yeah, people do assume that it hurts. It does not hurt. Like I said, I'm more prone to like sunburns and stuff. That can hurt, but like the vitiligo spreading itself does not hurt. People fetishize you for it. Okay. Yes, people do make vitiligo a fetish. People can make anything a fetish. People fetishize feet. There's people who fetishize black women. Like, you can fetishize anything, and as weird as it sounds and is, I try not to think about it because I don't really get into the whole fetish thing. But yeah, I've had some comments and some people say some pretty weird things, and yeah, there's people who fetishize vitiligo, or like literally like seek people with vitiligo to, I don't know, like, I don't want to say this,
jack off too.
I have nothing wrong with people who admire it, but the whole fetish thing I just don't really touch or get into. So next question. Okay, this is the last question. Do you like it? Have you always liked it? So do I like it now? Yes. Did I like it before? No, I didn't always like my vitiligo. So when I first started getting vitiligo, I wasn't insecure because it was so small you could barely notice it on my skin, and it was easy to cover up, and I wore glasses, so you didn't really notice it. Then as it started to spread, like on my hands and my arms and my face, I got a lot more insecure. I would come home crying from school because kids would talk, they would say comments. Kids are ruthless, and not just kids but adults too. You'll be surprised at things that I hear. But people are ignorant, and I don't know, like they just don't know what they're saying, and they say what comes to mind. So oftentimes I would just come home crying, and oftentimes I would come home and my mom would still be at work, so I would just cry my eyes out until she got home, then straighten my face because I didn't want to talk about it. It's real. When I was insecure, I would act like I was sick, and then I would go to the nurse and I would try to get sent home, and then if I couldn't, I would stay in the nurse's office for hours. I missed a lot of class, and I dragged, is that the word? I really dreaded, there we go. I dreaded going to school some days, and school was something that I liked. Although I wasn't like always outgoing, I was kind of shy. I was outgoing with my friends. So school was something that I had kind of always enjoyed, but then once I got vitiligo, I kind of dreaded it a little bit more because I didn't know what obstacles and what things people were gonna say that I had to face that day. So it was hard. It was really hard. It wasn't until, I want to say after college, that I really started realizing how insecure I was. Even in college, I kind of started trying to embrace myself a little bit more, but I even had my days in college where I would just like, I felt so ugly. I literally, like, I cut all my hair off for the first time in college. I've done it a couple times, but I cut all my hair off when I was in college, like twice. The first semester and second semester, I was trying to feel beautiful, find my beauty. I just didn't feel pretty, and that's real. Like, to wake up every day and not feel beautiful or to feel ugly, like, it's really sad, and it doesn't feel good. It's not a good feeling. Now I'm in a place where, since I stopped listening to what other people say and I realized that validation isn't supposed to come from other people and it's supposed to come from yourself, that's what helps me, is validating myself and not getting my validation from other people. But that is easier said than done, and I realize that as well. It's a process, and it also comes with maturing, because you have to literally shift your mindset from what do they think of me, trying to fit in, trying to be popular at school. Everyone has an opinion, like they have a ass. So once you kind of have that mindset and you realize that people will say whatever's on their mind, it doesn't make a difference as to how you actually look to other people. It's literally a thought in their head. So don't let those thoughts run you, control you, or determine your character, who you are, or what you look like, because that's all subjective anyways. Just be the best version of yourself. Yeah, I guess that's all the questions that I had. Thank y'all for answering my poll and letting me know your assumptions and questions. I feel like these were really, really good. It was a really good start. If you want me to do a part 2, let me know down below in the comment section. Comment things you want to know. Like, I want to know. I'm curious. I feel like this is a really good topic, and I don't really hear people talking about it much. It's a very sensitive topic, but I personally like when people ask me about it. I like being able to educate people, and I like being able to talk about it, because the more people I get to talk about it to, the more awareness there is and the less bullying there is. Because when you know someone who has vitiligo, or you've heard someone talk about it, you go and then maybe you go to school or you go to work and you see someone with it and you treat them with more respect. It's all about raising awareness and then informing people, and then I know people are just curious, so why not let people know the truth versus people believing a lie. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.